Today, I turn 54. And here's the strange, wonderful thing about that. I woke up at 6 this morning, same as every morning, checked the headlines, recorded the Marketing Encore daily over on TikTok, wrote the newsletter. On my birthday, on a day 7 corners actually gives me the day off. Because apparently at 54, I still can't help myself. But here's what's different. At 8 o'clock, I'm closing my laptop. I've got a Peloton class booked with John Hosking, my favorite instructor. Then a haircut at 10, and then I'm going to go lie under a red light and sit in a massage chair like a man who's finally figured out that he's allowed to. I'm telling you all of this because this day, the work I love at 6, the joy I finally learned to give myself at 8, that whole day would be unrecognizable to me 20 years ago. So that's what I want to talk about. What I actually know now at 54 that I had completely wrong at 34 and 44. Let's start with 34. At 34, I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, working at Bank of America in global marketing and corporate affairs. And in my head, I had made it. I'd wanted to be a marketer my whole life. And there I was. Big bank, big title trajectory, the whole thing. My entire world back then was just two things: climbing the next rung and figuring out where I was going out with my friends that weekend. Honestly, some weeks in that order. And here's the part I couldn't see. For all that climbing, I still didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I thought the title would tell me. I thought if I just got to the next level, the next role, some voice would finally go, there, that's it, that's you. It never did. The rung just moved. There was always another one. What I know now is that climbing was never going to answer the question. A title was never going to hand me an identity. I had the whole thing backwards. Now, jump to 44. By then, I was living in Chicago, and I was in what you might politely call a mid-career rough patch. A few smaller stints that didn't stick, and then, one Tuesday morning, the week before Memorial Day, I got let go from a company called Civis Analytics. I will never forget the train ride home. The red line, the middle of a workday, the car was half empty, and I'm sitting here at 44 years of age, facing something I had genuinely never faced before: unemployment. No next rung, no next anything. It was very surreal. That's the only word for it. I'd spent my whole career so sure the ladder only went up that I never really considered might not be a ladder. And I want to be honest about it, because that ride, that quiet, surreal gut punch of a train ride, turned out to be one of the most important hours of my entire career. I just couldn't see it yet. Here's what I underestimated for most of my career: people, not networking. I was good at networking, the transactional kind: collect the cards, work the room. I mean people, the ones who actually shape you. The person who had the single biggest impact on my career was a boss of mine at Bank of America, Jason Westmoreland. And the funny thing is, Jason and I were close to the same age. He wasn't some grizzled veteran handing wisdom down from a mountain. He was a peer who happened to be leading the team. And the way he managed me, the way he managed all of us, was just extraordinary. He made you be better and made you feel like getting better had been your idea all along. I didn't fully appreciate it at 34. I was too busy climbing. It's only now, looking back, that I understand a leader like that compounds quietly for decades. Almost everything I know about leading a team, I can trace back to Jason. The wins from those years, I couldn't tell you a single number. The people, I remember every one. Which brings me to the thing I really want to say on my birthday. We work in a business that worships youth. You feel it everywhere. The energy goes to the newest, the freshest, the youngest voice in the room. And when you hit a certain age, a quiet little question starts whispering at you. Does what I built still count? Or is the parade kind of moving past me? I felt that whisper, especially after what happened at Civis, especially on that train. And here's my answer to it. At 54, that train ride is exactly why the answer is yes. Because I've now faced the thing I was most afraid of, being let go, the floor falling out from under me. And I survived it. I built from it. And that does something to a person. The scars aren't a liability. The scars are a qualification. What I have now that I did not have at 34 or 44 is judgment. The kind you can only earn by getting it wrong, by getting knocked down, by sitting on the red line wondering what's next, and then going out and finding out what's next. There's no shortcut to that. There's no fast version. You can only live it. So that's where I am at 54. And I am more challenged in my work than I have ever been. And at the very same time, more confident in what I can do than I have ever been. Those two things used to feel like opposites. Turns out, they're the best place a person can stand. I used to lie awake worried about losing a job. Now, if the floor fell out tomorrow, I genuinely know that I'd be fine. I've already done the hard version. I know what I'm capable of. And I know the next act is coming. After 7 Corners, whenever that day is, there's In Demand, my consulting business, and the things I'm building on the side, Marketer Hub, and this little corner of the internet right here. I'm not in a rush. I've still got things I want to finish where I am. But the second act isn't someday anymore. It's just a matter of when. So look, it's my birthday, and I'm allowed to be a little sappy. I'm grateful for the climb and for the train ride, for Jason, for a company that hands me the day off, and a Peloton class I'm genuinely excited about, for 90s music that's about to be way too loud in my headphones, and yes, for the Real Housewives marathon I will absolutely be watching by the pool later. No apologies. RuPaul ends every episode reminding everybody that if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And at 54, I think the work version of that goes like this. If you can't see the value in everything you've already lived, you'll never see the value in what you still got left to do. So, if you're somewhere near my age and that little whisper has been asking whether you still count, hear me. You are not the opening act. You're the encore, and the crowd is on its feet. I'm 54 today, and I promise you, the best part of the set is still to come. I'll see you next week.